This first video, it's not going to be top-notch quality like you see from everybody else. I don't have the money for a whole lot of equipment right now. Hopefully that'll come with time. But this first video is just going to be an introduction to the channel and what all I want to do with it, and I'll show you some of my favorites for the month. My name's Amanda, if you don't know that already. I am not a professional makeup artist. I just take what I've learned from others and incorporate it into something that works for me. I'll be doing different tutorials, probably a few Ipsy glam bag openings. I won't do a whole lot of those because I can't seem to wait. Once I get the package, I have to open it right then. I'll be doing makeup reviews and things like that. I usually try to keep it lighthearted throughout the whole video. I don't like to get angry. It just kind of takes the mood down of the whole thing, and I've seen that happen in a lot of videos. The first thing we're going to do is, and my cats have entered the YouTube channel apparently. The first thing we're going to do is I will show you some of my favorites. I won't go in any particular order. I will save the eyeshadow palettes for last. And Trixie's going to help me. Trixie is my cat, by the way, and if you would like to see her, this is Trixie Ann. She may make some appearances. Yeah. Anyway, alright, I'll start first with one of my favorite primers, which is the Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer from Ciate London. I have dry skin, so this may not work for somebody who has an oily skin type or combination skin type, but it does have a small watermelon fragrance to it. It's not overbearing, which I don't like a lot of fragrance in my skincare and in my makeup because it can kind of trigger migraines or it gives me like a nauseous feeling. But this is not overbearing, so I can handle it pretty well. I got this in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. Trixie, are you trying to help me out? You're doing a great job. Okay, anyway, this has been the one that I've been using with all of my makeup here the past couple of months. I'll set it back here. Alright, and as for, I do my concealer first before I do my foundation. Let's see here. I use the concealer just under my eyes. I just use one dot here and then one dot over here in the inner corner of my eyes, and I dab it in and just kind of spread it out that way. I do not use a lot of concealer under my eyes because I'm developing fine lines under my eyes. If you use a whole lot of concealer, it's going to crease no matter what you do if you have fine lines. If you don't have any fine lines under your eyes, you can do whatever you want and it'll be fine. But I use the Beauty Blender Bounce Airbrush Liquid Whip Concealer, and this is the packaging for it. And I use the shade Light Beige. And this is the actual tube that it comes in. It's kind of hard to see. My lighting isn't very well. And this is the applicator. It's a pretty big applicator, so you want to be you want to either use the applicator delicately or you're going to make a mess, or you want to use a concealer brush. Okay, and the foundation I use is the Beauty Blender Bounce Liquid Whip Long Wear Foundation, and this is the packaging for it. Mine is the blend, I guess, 1.60. I actually let the website pick my shade by, if you go onto their website, you can put what shades you use in other foundations and it'll pick the shade based off what other shade you use. But this is the packaging for it. It actually has the Beauty Blender on the front of it. And you'll notice that I keep the packaging for all of my makeup. I hoard it like nobody's business. But this is the actual front of the container, and this is the back. There is actually a switch on the back right here that you can switch it on and off. If you switch it on, you can press the button on the top and the foundation will come out. If you switch it off, if you press the button, it won't go down all the way and the foundation will not come out. But what you'll do is you'll put your beauty sponge or beauty blender, whatever you have, right here on the front of it. And it'll be right underneath the spout there. So when you press the button, it'll go directly onto your beauty blender, which is very handy. Alright, and as for powder, I use the Watermelon Burst Setting Powder by Ciate London, which is another one that's got a little bit of a fragrance to it, but it's not an overwhelming fragrance. It's watermelon scented, and the actual compact is really cute. Like, anyway, when you open it up, this is what it looks like, which it's not gonna transfer on camera, but there are actually little indentions to where it looks like there are little watermelon seeds in it. I got the shade Translucent. It's just easier that way. Trying to match a really dark skin tone or a really light skin tone is really hard to do. And the only way if you've got the middle shade skin tones, you're good to go. But if you're too light or too dark, you're not going to find a foundation that easily. Okay, and then for bronzer, I use the Benefit Hoola bronzer. Might help if I put it a little closer. Yeah. I use it basically, I have a 5 head. My hairline's receding. I have a big forehead. So what I do is to make my forehead look a little smaller, I basically toast the edges. Basically meaning I put the bronzer right here around my hairline, and I kind of do the inside areas here, and it kind of makes the forehead look a little smaller. I also kind of do a 3 shape that goes around your face like this. I do not go all the way in because that will elongate the face, and I don't want my face elongated anymore. But this is the packaging for the Benefit bronzer. You're doing a great job, Trixie. Yeah, you are. You're helping me out a whole lot. But when you open it up, it actually comes with one of these brushes, which I used to use this brush all the time with it, and I don't anymore because it leaves a lot of harsh lines. And I figured out here recently, other brushes do a lot better job than the brushes that come in the products. But I have actually had this for quite a few years now, and this is the one that I've used for I don't know how long. I've tried other bronzers, and this is just the one that I go back to. Let's see here. As for highlighter, I have been using, even for my eyeshadow looks, I use this for the brow bone highlight and the inner corner highlight, along with the highlight around this area here. This is the Ofra x Nikki Tutorials Glazed Donut Highlighter, and I just love the way it looks on the skin. It is gorgeous. I actually got this in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. I don't know, I think it was last month or the month before that, I don't remember. But once again, it's not going to transfer on camera. But it is a gorgeous highlight. For the brows, I don't do a lot with my brows. I have blonde brows, and they're actually very sparse. Like, they're okay here, but they're kind of sparse here. So what I basically do is I just use a blonde brow pencil and just kind of fill in where the sparseness is. That's all I do. I don't pluck my brows or anything like that. And you can probably tell, but that's fine. But on this end, which I forgot to tell you what this was, it's the Precisely My Brow Pencil by Benefit, which it looks really cute. It looks fancy. But on this end, it has a spoolie. Basically, what I do is I brush it through my brows, just kind of get them kind of tamed up a little bit. And on the other end is the actual pencil, which is retractable. And then I just fill in the area that doesn't have a whole lot of brow there. And then I go back again, I go back in with the spoolie again, and I brush the product through to kind of even it out. And for my eyeshadow base, I use the NYX Professional Makeup eyeshadow base in the shade Skin Tone. It's what I've been using in every single eyeshadow look that I've done the past few months. I don't use anything else. And I actually didn't know that eyeshadow primers were a thing until probably last year, because I didn't really get into makeup that big until then. And for mascara, I've been using the Triple Shot XXL mascara by Ciate London. And this is the packaging it comes in. And it basically looks just like any other mascara. And almost every mascara that I get, I want it to have a big brush. Like, I want it to be a big, thick brush. I don't like the skinny brushes. I don't have a steady enough hand for that. But this, it basically makes it look like I have false eyelashes on, and I don't wear false eyelashes. So this is really handy to have if you don't want to go through the effort of false eyelashes. The lip products that I use, and you will find that I don't use a whole lot of lipsticks or lip liners or anything like that on my mouth. I do lip gloss. Like, I'll do a clear gloss or maybe like a nude lip gloss. I have actually been using here lately the Maybelline Lifter Gloss. It basically gives you a temporarily plump looking lip, which my bottom lip is fine. My top lip, if I could afford lip fillers, I'd get lip filler for it. But this temporarily, can I help you? Are you helping me out? Okay. Anyway, Cleo's in here now too. So we have two special guests. Say hello, Trixie. Or not. Okay. Anyway, this will give a temporary plumping sensation. This goes on kind of clear on my lips. It looks kind of a nude color, but from what I can tell, it's kind of a clear looking lip gloss. But it has hyaluronic acid in it, which is what gives that temporary plumping. Like, if you find a skincare product that says that it helps reduce fine lines and wrinkles, Trixie, no. It more than likely has hyaluronic acid in it. These products will always be temporary. They may make you look good for maybe a few hours at most, but the effects will not last. Once that product is soaked in, or once it comes off, that sensation is going to be gone. But it's nice to have if you're afraid of Botox or lip fillers or anything like that. As for blush, I actually got the combo in this, which had the lip oil with it. It's part of the ColourPop Garden Variety collection. It came with, it was a blush and a lip oil combo, and the combo together is called Bloom Together. Trixie, get out of there. Okay, anyway, this is what the packaging looks like. The lip oil is in the shade Rain Check, and this is what the lip oil looks like. It basically looks just like a clear gloss. That's pretty much what I've gotten from it. It's pretty, but it's just a clear gloss. And the blush looks like this on the outside. When you open it up, this is the shade. I got the shade Night Bloom. And it is actually very pretty. It's a subtle shade unless you just pack it on real excessively. I like it to be a subtle shade so that I can slowly build it up. With my skin tone, it doesn't take much to be an overwhelming color, and then it just looks really, really fake. So I like buildable colors like eyeshadows, blushes, bronzers. I don't want it to be overwhelming on my face. Last but not least, I've got my favorite eyeshadow palettes. I will always leave the eyeshadow palettes for last whenever I do any kind of favorites video or anything like that. My first favorite is, you might have guessed it because I already did something by them, is the ColourPop Garden Variety eyeshadow palette, which it's kind of reversed because I have the camera on reverse. But this is the box packaging on the front, and then the back of it has like the shade names and the order of the shades and everything. And then when you take it out, the palette itself looks identical to the outside packaging, and the back is the same way. Okay, and that's the inside of it. That's the color story for the eyeshadows for this one. There are a lot of neutrals, which is something I don't normally gravitate towards because I have a lot of black clothes. I wore a lot of black in high school, and I just love a lot of color now. Like, I'm over all the black. But the neutrals aren't usually something I'm into. I usually want a lot of color. But this was just such a pretty palette, I had to have it. And I always keep little clear shades or sheets that go onto the shades. I keep everything. Okay, and the next one is the Bailey Sarian times Estate Venice Fling eyeshadow palette. I got it in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus. And this is the outside packaging, the little cardboard sleeve. And when you take it out, it's, of course, identical to the actual cardboard. And then when you open it up, it has a mirror on the inside. And this one also has quite a few neutrals, but the shimmers are absolutely gorgeous. I actually use this shade right here as a contour shade, just like right up under my cheekbones. That's the extent of the contour that I do. But this makes a great contour shade. And I've used almost all the shades in this palette except for this really dark one there. And that's just because I don't use a whole lot of dark colors anymore. But this is actually a really gorgeous shade. And I'm really happy for Bailey Sarian for being able to come together with Estate Cosmetics and make this. I hope to be able to do that one day. But that is a gorgeous palette. And last but not least is, this is an indie brand, which I've gotten a couple of palettes from them, and I really, really like them. The first palette I got from this brand, I got in my Ipsy Glam Bag Plus, and it was just a gorgeous palette. I loved it. And this one I used my own money to buy. It was it's the Antilles palette by Nomad Cosmetics. And it's got the shade names and the shade colors on the back. And once again, I kept the packaging because that's who I am as a person. But this is the actual palette. And this is one of the color stories that I gravitate towards. It's just a beautiful shade range of colors. It looks like a giant rainbow. I love it. There's more shimmers than there are mattes in this palette, but it's just absolutely gorgeous. This palette itself is actually, it has been discontinued. I don't know if you might be able to find it on maybe eBay or something like that, where people are selling like their old palettes or something. But you will not be able to get this on the Nomad Cosmetics website anymore. They discontinued it. Hopefully you can find it if you actually really like this palette. Hopefully you can find it on eBay or something like that. But as of right now, unless they add it back to the website, then that's basically, you're not going to be able to get that palette. But that's been my favorites for this month. I'll probably do a favorites video every month. Hopefully I'll be able to get some more equipment around where the lighting will be better and things like that. But this is just basically an introductory video just to add and introduce everybody to what I'll be doing on the channel and everything. Apparently my cats are going to be making a lot of guest appearances that I did not prepare for. But maybe you'll like them better than me. We'll find out. But I hope y'all have a good day. Thanks for watching.